Beautiful day here in the bubble today. Good practice. A lot of good work working towards a great challenge this Saturday against Cincinnati. Questions?
Al, in general terms, how is the health? Because there's so many key starters uncertain.
Well, I think some of it's getting cleared up. I thought PJ looked really good today. I thought Deontay did a little bit more today than he did on Sunday. And I think the rest of the guys look pretty good. Even some of the guys have just some nagging things. I thought did a little more today than they did on Sunday. So I feel good from that standpoint.
With the defensive line guys trying out new spots, how are guys like Milewski and Max doing in multiple roles?
Milewski's done it all year. It's not new for him, but it is a luxury for us to have a guy like him who can really play up and down the line. We do have a couple guys playing some different spots. I think Max is getting better at playing that inside position, the three technique position. He seems to be a little bit more comfortable today than he was on Sunday. We'll look at the film, we'll see if there are any MAs or anything like that, but they get cleaned up. And Sebastian's playing a little three technique. He's playing a little nose guard now to be ready if we need him.
You have complete faith in Dallas. He hasn't played a lot, but he's played, I think, 6 games, started 1, and if he has to start.
I do. I think, again, you have an older guy on your team, and I said this to the team today, I think you get to this point in the season, your depth is always going to be challenged, and you really have to lean on the players who've been in your program. And Dallas has been in our program for 3 years now. He's a senior, but he's played a lot of football over the years, and he's played enough for us that I feel very confident.
What kind of progress have you seen from him since the first time he had to fill in earlier this year?
With Dallas? I think he's getting better every week. I think it's nothing. With offensive linemen, I don't know if there's no production chart really for the offensive line. So I think what you want those guys to do is just come out every day and work hard and get in sync with the other guys around them and make sure that as a unit they function smoothly. That's what I'm probably most pleased with.
Kyle, we know Waters is so good against the run, and he really is the leader in the secondary back there. What if Aiken plays like he did the last game and the game before that? What strengths does he have back there, and what does he give you that? What are you missing without Waters, and what do you get from Aiken?
I think when you don't have a guy like Lorenzo, what you lose is really the experience factor, and it's not so much what you lose in terms of Lorenzo and John. It's really the other guys that have to move up with the younger guys, the freshmen that are playing. I think John went in the last game and played more than he had in any game in the secondary for us, and played a really consistent, really steady game for us, and that's all we ask him to do. We're not asking John to be Lorenzo. We're not asking Lorenzo to be Duran. That's not how we do it. All we want them to do is give us everything they got and perform on a consistent basis day in and day out. And certainly, I think the group as a whole is stronger when we have Lorenzo. He's proven to be an excellent football player for us. But this time of year, whether he can play or not will be decided later in the week. And if he can go, it'll be great. And if he can't, the other guys need to step up.
Any update on the kicking situation?
I thought both guys had a good day today. That would be my update today. I'm very pleased. I thought both guys hit some long field goals today. They got the ball up, some early rise to it. I was pleased. Today was probably one of the better days we've had in a long time.
So that's still open?
It's still open right now.
What kind of leadership have you seen from Marcus Thompson since he kind of became a game captain?
It really started before that, and it really started right after last season. I think going into the offseason, Marcus is a guy who immediately was one of the players trying to fill that void of that class we had last year, and I think he's done a good job of it. And that just grew stronger and stronger as his play got better and better this year, and I thought that's why the game captain was deserved for sure.
If you need more from Huggins this week, do you think he's ready to kind of step in and fill a bigger role?
I do. Anytime we've ever asked Savon to carry the football, he's been ready for us. And those roles again will be defined more clearly as we get into the end of the week. But I have no doubt that he'll be ready.
Any previous interaction with Tommy Tuberville?
I have not. I've never met him. I've never met him, and I've never been on a staff that coached against one of his staffs.
Okay. Is there anything to that? Facing a complete stranger, because usually a little something in the league, especially about guys you're facing.
Sure, I think we always at this point the nice thing is we've got a pretty good body of work to look at the flow of the games that they've played in and so you try to look at the close games they've been in. What's their strategy at the end of the half? What's their strategy at the end of the game? If they need a play to win the game on offense, how do they feel? What do you think they're going to do? If they need a play to win the game on defense, do you think you'll get coverage? Do you think you'll get blitz? Those are the things you try to look at, because that's really ultimately what defines, I think, the personality of the head coach.
Time for 2 more. He said Tommy Tuberville said yesterday on the coach's call that you guys probably are the most similar to them of any team they faced. When he looks at you guys, he sees a little bit of Cincinnati. Do you see yourselves in Cincinnati?
I could understand why he would say that. I think what he is probably speaking to is the way we line up on defense is very similar to how they line up on defense. And we're a little more pressure oriented. They're a little more base defense oriented. But certainly the way the positions match up, I think there's definitely a similarity. And the value of the running game on offense, I think is probably, those are probably the two biggest reasons why he would say that. And I would agree.
Coach, I believe 6 players from Rutgers played last night Monday Night Football. What does that do in terms of recruiting and helping you?
I think it makes a great statement to all the players that we're currently recruiting that, regardless of how or why you came to Rutgers, because some of those guys who played last night were really highly touted recruits, and other guys were a little lesser known. But the ones that come here and really desire to be a part of our program and the way we develop players, God willing, if you can stay healthy on the back end of it, you're going to have a great opportunity to play in that next league. And not only are you going to have an opportunity to play in it, you'll be prepared so that you can stay there.